appear on the petition, which I tried to put a hold on it. And Mohbad's case was the last paragraph on that petition, complaining that since this man came on power, this is what we've been facing. There is a present issue now. We are having at hand. This boy was killed by this man's boy, by this president boy, So I said, okay, this is a politics. Can we put a hold on this, and we shouldn't make it forward to the UN? We should put a hold on it. Let me call around and see what exactly is this, because the fight between Tinubu and Obi was on then. They were trying to get a lot of document from Nigeria, from the US here, So I said, okay, let's put a hold on it. I'm going to cut on that. I'm not going to go detail on that aspect. So I said, okay, give me time. Let me check around. Young youths, young boys, young guys like us, they were the one doing that stuff, concerned citizen of Nigeria. And I said, okay, we'll put a hold on it. I make a call and something leads to something. So I'm going to start from where my dream started. So I stopped that petition moving forward, It was a petition that already put in, and a slot is supposed to be given to them to speak on it on the UN, okay? So that stopped. And the very day I did that, the night of that day, and I went to bed. I love to sleep in dark, turn off everything, turn on my rainy sound, and I was trying to go to sleep. And I was laying on my side, and a long hand with a khaki uniform, khaki color, like a chino shirt, long from your shoulder all the way to your hands. You know how you wake somebody up, you tap somebody on the person's shoulder. So I see this hand in the dark. That's the only thing I can see, from the shoulder down to the finger. Then it was tapped on my shoulder, and I said, who is this? And I got up and jumped up, turned up my lights and look around. There's nobody. I said, okay, what's going on here? And he never stopped there. I said, okay, it could be imagination or something. So it didn't stop there. Then the next day, well, that was on Monday of the next day, and my little girl came back from school, and she said she have a project. She need to go to the store. I said, no, we stay at home so that I can order it and they'll bring it to the home. She said, no, that she want to go to the store. And that's like me not being to the store for like over 2 months, So that evening, I decided to say, okay, get up, let's go to the store, okay? So we went up to the store, and when we got to the store, that's like between 6 to 7 in the evening, like that. So when we got to the store, we were walking out to her. She was picking her stuff and all that. So I got to an hour. I wanted to pick a cedrine. So when I tried to pick the cedrine, I picked one, then another one rolled down, So when the thing rolled towards my back, and I turned around to pick it, so a lady now grabbed it and handed it over to me, So I said, oh, thank you. He said, how are you? I said, I'm fine. So she now looked at my daughter. She said, oh, that she has been looking for me in the store for like over 20 minutes. Now I said, oh, really? You say, yeah, I saw you when you are walking in with your daughter, and I was walking out. I said, oh, I didn't take notes. So she was like, oh, really? I said, yeah. So she now turned and looked at my daughter. She was like, baby, can you excuse me, please? So my daughter looked at me and said, can I? I said, yeah, but don't go too far. My phone, my bag, everything is in the shopping cart. Don't go too far. So she said, yes, ma'am. So she ran away. And the lady was like, the first question she asked me, she said, have you seen somebody that speak to the dead before? And I was like, no, but I've heard about it. I've heard some people in the East Coast of America, like the Louisiana area, I heard they do that. They actually wake the dead, you know. She said, yeah. Say, do you know the set of people called Creole? I said, yeah, I've heard about them, but I really don't know about them. She said, oh, she's Creole. You know, she's from that part of the country, from Louisiana area, that she's here on something. I said, oh, okay. Then she said, okay, when you are walking in, I was walking out. And there's this young boy, fine looking boy. He was crying and following me and telling me to follow that lady. That she doesn't do this more often, but she sympathized with the boy, the rate at which the boy was crying, you know, for her to follow me. Then she said she have a message for me. Can she give me the message? And I was like, no. She said, no, you had to take this message. You have a good heart. It doesn't happen to people that often, but somebody with good heart, and she don't do this on the public space, because the way this boy was crying, that she has to do it, and because she feels that this boy feel that I can help, and that's the reason why she came. And the first message for me, he gave me, she said, anytime you get to talk to my father or you get to speak to anybody, this is my father's message. Ask my father why 3 times. Why did you let them to silence me? You promised to protect me. What made you so angry that you turn your back upon me? I told you to be patient. Everything is going to be okay. That was the first word. Then she moved on to the second word, and she now told me that he said that only his girl, he don't say wife, his girl is the only person that will tell the world the truth of what happened to him. But it's going to be difficult because everybody involved in what happened to him took an oath, okay? That they took an oath. It's going to be difficult, but they will talk, but she's the only person that will tell the world what happened. So he moved from there. And he now said that he has kids, not kids, that every of his thing should be put together in one place. That when that time comes, one will decide to carry up his name. You know, that he don't want his legacy to go in vain, that he wants his legacy to remain. Okay? So she stopped at that, and she looked at me. She said, oh, he's gone. Somebody is coming, and he left, you know. So, oh, he's gone. She said, he's gone. I said, oh, wow. She said, yeah, he gone. She said, sorry, ma'am. I was like, oh, my God. So what do you want me to do with this message? I said, I don't know. But from this moment, just be assured this guy is going to be with you for this moment. And I'm telling you, don't be afraid. You have a good heart. There's something in you that you have to deliver for this boy. So if you are afraid, you are not going to get it. So this is my number. My name is Keisha. Call me when you have any problem or when you want to talk to me. Call me, you know. And she gave me the number. I put it down, you know. And the next thing, she said, I got to go now before I stinks. That's me. I got to leave before I start smelling. Okay. I said, oh, wow. So I said, okay, bye. Then she walked. I saw her walking straight through the aisle. She turned left and immediately she just moved. My feet, my head becomes so heavy that at that moment I couldn't even move my leg. And my daughter ran to me and she was like, Mommy, are you in trouble? Do you have any problem with the police or something? I said, no. You say, what's that woman telling you? I said, no, that's okay. Pick what you need to pick. We need to go home now, So she got everything. I came home. That was the beginning of my nightmare. It was a nightmare for me. From that moment, I don't even need to sleep. The next day, he came. He took me all the way to the stage where this whole thing started. At the stage, the light on the stage is blue and green mixed together. Then he took me to the stage while he was dancing in the stage, okay? He was dancing. Like I'm talking to you now, everything is just coming to my face, so I don't like talking about it. Finally, he took me to the stage and, and once that thing is going to start, the moment I closed my eye, the sky will start open like a TV. It will open, once it get to the light blue sky, everything, the thing will just surface in my front like a TV, then everything will start playing, I don't need to sleep, So he took me to the stage. He was performing on the stage. There are people on the back of the stage, left and right. On the right side of the stage, there are people there. While he was singing, somebody now stretched a drink. The bottle is not green. It's like an olive green bottle, okay? Was stretched hand to him. So he popped it into his mouth and stretched his hand and give it to them back. At that moment, his energy went from the 100 to a 0. The energy went from 100 to a 0. Then, from that moment, he now took me all the way to his house, okay? From his house, as I am in this America right now, if you take me to Mohbad's house, I will show you where everything happened. So he took me all the way. The house is like a condominium. What I saw is like a condominium. So from the condominium, he took me inside the house. The moment I get into the house, I think it's the kitchen is on the left. He took me to the place. The place is like a kitchen, but not fully kitchen. It's like, a pantry. A pantry where you store your food. Like in the US here, it's called pantry, where you stored your food. Okay? So he showed me where there were like something like a tube, putting something inside the drink. For inside the drink, they added something to something in the bowl, like a food. I don't know what it is. Then he showed me that aspect. Then he took me all the way. I climbed upstairs. Once I climbed upstairs, there is a room to my right. He took me to that room. The room is big, like a ball game room, like a master bedroom. In that room, there's water on the ground, Then clothes, you know how you come back from somewhere, you take off your clothes, you just pull your shoe, your socks, things were being just scattered in the room. So he took me there. And from that moment, my vision, started closing. Everything closed. I got up. It was too much for me. The moment I closed my eye, it's appear. I can't sleep. That very week, I started losing my mind. I started calling people. I'm not a social media person. I opened an Instagram account. I started sending message. I was begging. I begged people. I offered people with money. Please, can I put my story out there? I'm losing my mental health. I started crying. You know, I wake up from sleep. I started attacking my kids. Once they say good morning, I'm losing it, you know. Like, my son was like, Mom, you need a help. They took my phone. They started seizing my phone. You know, you need to go to the hospital. It didn't stop there. So there's this other day on that makes me lose all my mind. My kids, they all went to school. Around 10, that whole of that night, I didn't sleep all night. I was just awake, you know, doing a lot of things, doing research, talking to this person over here, talking to a lot of people. That's private for me, you know, trying to see how we can come in this case, but no way, nobody is listening to me, you know. So even this Iyabojo, I texted her. I was on her live. I sent her a message. She read my message. I text her. One other guy, a lot of people. I try to communicate. You can imagine somebody will read your message. Somebody will listen to you crying like a baby. You will see this person read your message. Even Sam Clef, I begged him. I said, hey, we need to do this. This is the right thing we need to do. I have some team of lawyer here that is looking at the, I begged. I say, if it's money, money wasn't the problem. This is like the third week. Okay. So the last one that I almost like tried to call 911 to check myself into the hospital. My kids, they were all gone to the school that morning and I was alone. I didn't sleep all night. I said, okay, let me go sleep for like, you know, 1 hour or 30 minutes and see if I can sleep. So I went in, you know, closed my door, lay down on my side again. And the moment I lay down, the sky started opening, get to that stage of where the TV is going to appear in my front. Then I jumped up off my bed. I jumped up, I said, not again. I have so many about Bella, about a lot of people that have not give out. I need to give what I have out. So I jumped out of my room, came out, made smoothie, went to my garage, roll up my garage, you know, have chairs in my garage, and I sat down there with my 2 eggs. I ate it. I became scared of coming back into my house, you know. So I was there for a while. So when I look at the time, it was the time for kids to start coming back from school. So I was like, okay, let me go in and see whether I can make something for my kid. So immediately I walked in from the garage. My TV was on. There was a breaking news on CNN. So I now walked straight to the living room to come and sit down, you know. So I sat down, just being taken away by the news. The next thing, the entrance to my house, you either a fingerprint, which is one person's fingerprint that can open the door, or you have the code. You have 4 codes that can open the door for you to get in. And if you are anywhere in part of the house and somebody is trying to open the door with a pin, you can be hearing the punch. So I was sitting there in my living room and I'm beginning to hear the punch. And I was hearing my son's voice, like, you know how somebody is trying to come in and you'll be hearing the person's voice. The person put the pin and the door sounded like the door is open. And I was hearing my son's voice like he's talking on the phone. And thought he was going to come in. 30 minutes, I wait for him to walk at the door coming. No answer. I was like, what is going on here? You know? So I get up, went out, opened the door, I went out to check on the car porch there. His car is not there. He's not there. So I came back here. I said, okay, this is strange. And I called him. I said, hey, dude, where are you? I heard your voice. You went back somewhere? He said, no, I'm still in school. I left home since 9 a.m. and I'm not planning on coming home anytime soon. I'll probably be home around 10 p.m. I said, really? You didn't come home just now, but you're not trying to open the door? He said, Mom, go look around your house. Go check in your backyard and everything. Just make sure nobody is trying to break in. And I live in the suburb. I don't live anywhere close to the road or street or anywhere. So, very quiet neighborhood, you know. So I was like, nobody. Said, Mom, go out, open your back door, go through your backyard and everything and check if somebody is not trying to break in. At that point, I know there is a problem for me. Based on what happened to me, that I couldn't sleep and I had to jump and come out, I know. I sat down at that spot, went to the kitchen, I couldn't cook anymore. I was on my dining table for 4 good hours. I was crying, like, who is going to help me? Who is going to listen to me, you know? So I pick up my tablet that is right in front of me, turn on my tablet. Immediately I turn on my tablet, this lady at that universe was the first person that surfaced on my tablet. And what was she saying? She was saying, oh, yeah, this is justice for Mohbad. And I listened to her a little bit. Somebody called and they were talking. That's how I quickly pick up my phone. I didn't even call WhatsApp. I called direct. And I called her direct. Behold, immediately the phone rang and I was watching her. Immediately the phone rang, she picked it up and she introduced herself and I introduced myself. And I was like, I see you are doing justice for Mohbad. Can I talk to you? She said, yes. I said, okay, please. I don't want to be on live. Can I talk to you behind? She said, okay, give me 1 hour. I'll call you right away. So by the time she called me right away and I calmed down, I'm trying to cut this whole story short. I don't want to keep people too much to be listening, you know. By the time I tell this woman my story, she was already crying and I was crying. She feels so sorry for me. She said, okay, do you want to put your story out there? I said, yes. I think if I put my story out there, I'm going to feel better, you know, and I'll feel released that a message is given to me and I'm putting the message out there. She said, okay, give me a good time and I'll call you when I'm on live tomorrow. I said, okay, I'm not an early person. You can call me. Let's agree to 4 o'clock my own time, 4 p.m. my own time. She said, okay. By the time Ada called me, and she probably has mentioned it to them, by the time she called me, over 70,000 people were already waiting on that live for me, because I was like the first person that brought the vision out of what exactly happened. Everybody was waiting for me. By the time I finished speaking and I cry out, you know, and I feel better, you know. But guess what? What happened to me the next day after I released that stuff? I woke up, I got up in the morning around 10. It's always between 10 and 9, my vision. Immediately I get up. Went to my restroom. I was sitting down in my restroom like this, and I was trying to recall and thinking. The moment I closed my eye, I wasn't sleeping. I closed my eye, and the sky started opening again. I was like, okay, it looks scary. It's kind of scary when it started. You understand? You know. I was like, okay, let me see what this boy have for me today. Standing, this beautiful damsel, if you see how pretty she was, she looked like a queen, this Arab women. She was dressed up with gold, yellow gold, and she covered her hair. This girl was standing in front of me, looking at me, eyeball to eyeball, And I was sitting down in my toilet like this, and I was looking at her. She was looking at me with my eye closed. So we keep on looking at each other. The next thing, the line, it started fading. Then there's a written like Arabic, not really Arabic, like all these Hebrews written, on her chest. I can't translate what that means, but it was a written like in Arabic, not really Arabic, but something close to that on her chest. And the next thing, the pictures started fading together with the right up, so pretty, cover her hair with like the outside Arab women, but she was well dressed up with gold, yellow gold, the real Indian yellow gold. That's how she was looking that day, then she fade, and the screen closed, I said it to people, I don't know the meaning, but a lot of people put a lot of meaning into it. So it's my story. That is what is kind of driving me. It never stops. At any time I move on this case, I move on a direction. Either I hear the voice or I get a direction. That is how I've been moving on this case, and that is the reason why when you hear Susan talking, I'm not talking because I want to be popular or I want to be known. I know who I am, but that is the reason why I said we are not going to stop. And for Wunmi, and that's the reason why I keep on saying to Wunmi, you know what happened. Mohbad didn't tell me you killed, but you know what happened. And you tell us what happened, we'll pick it up from there. And that's the reason why I keep on saying, please, Wunmi, tell us what happened. And Wunmi is the only person that have solution for what we are looking for, other than the police people that has messed up this case for us.